Back to Giggity Racing, ladies and gentlemen. We just saw a barn burner at New Hampshire. We went from a paper clip 1 mile to, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Daytona! Strategies, lines, who's going to draft with who. In the booth tonight, we have Roofer, we have Robbie Vids, we have Puddin'. Guys, thoughts, opinions?
I want to see if it's going to be a one-line race, stick to the bottom the whole race, or if anybody can do anything up top. That's what I want to see.
Make that high line great again, Roofer. Robbie, where's your preferred line around here?
Definitely the bottom, riding that yellow as tight as I can, and anybody who's behind me, not letting them in, and just focusing on what's in front of me. But one of my main thing is, at the beginning of the race, I want to be with my teammates, especially in stage 3.
Teammates, huge. Yep. And again,
this is a numbers
each track
game.
has their Go ahead, Roofer, go.
This is all going to be about a numbers game. Like, say if 8 people stuck to the top and committed to it, and only 2 people stuck to the bottom, which was not going to happen because the bottom's just an easy line to drive, but they would automatically get a faster draft up there than 2 guys on the bottom. But the problem is you can get about a half second a lap faster on the bottom, and it just feels better. I think that's why everybody just sticks to the bottom in the line the way they do. It's just so. I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of single file racing, to be honest. Not at the beginning of the run. It'll stay, 2 wide for a lap or 2, but then it'll get strung out. And then, like you said, I want to see if anybody can get 3-4 cars up there and make a move.
So are we going to see, when we say freight train, are we going to see 12, 13 cars? Are we going to see 4 or 5 cars? But the biggest terminology we brought before, we're changing that. You have to have patience at Daytona. You have to have resilience. You have to be there, and Robbie Vids brought it up. Teammates. Teammates. Who's going to go with you when it counts? Guys, this is a big 180 from the track we just come to, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting race. I think there's going to be a split. I reckon it's going to be a top pack, and then there's going to be a pack at the back, and I'm hoping that the pack at the back will work together and try and make the racing real interesting and get back to that single line racing. That's my touch on the race anyway. That's what I think is going to happen.
Robbie, you're right. I think if they don't break up, we could see a 12 to 15 car freight line here. But with the talent of Giggity Racing, I don't expect to see 2-3 different 3 to 5 car groups. It could happen. Things happen. It's plate racing. The big one happens. Who can keep their calm? And we're going to bring this back up from New Hampshire. That word patience. You have cautions. You have stages. It's okay. You fall back. Don't worry about it. Don't get frustrated. Take a deep breath. Get back in line. And I think the biggest thing here, too, is to stay on the lead lap, or at least the first lead lap car. Just don't go lap down, though, and you don't have to worry about it, guys.
Yeah, I agree. If you stay on the lead lap, which it's you can get a speeding penalty here and almost still stay on the lead lap. I mean, it's close. It's because it's such a big track. But if you want to make a mistake like that, like you said, you got to do it early, get it out of the way, stage 1 and 2, and then have a good stage 3. Like the last race, just for example, Blakey T wasn't the strongest in stage 1 and 2, but he kept his car clean, and there at the end of the race, when Smitty and Spanker had a little bit of bad luck, he capitalized. So, I mean, that same thing here at Daytona. You keep your car clean there at the end, you're going to have a good shot. And this is where tires are not going to matter at all. This is more going to be about fuel. It's a fuel mileage race. Tires didn't matter any time that I've ran Daytona. It hasn't been an issue.
Strategy, consistency. Roofer, you're on point right there. Strategy.
You can take 2 tires here. and it works as long as you have someone that takes 2 tires with you, so you're
You
still
already took the
drafting.
words out of my mouth, Roofer.
Right. Yep.
We are in for a barn burner, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Robbie,
Hmm.
Roofer,
Yep,
this is Puddin'. Let's see what we got coming up here next, because
when
it's
y'all
going to be
get an
good.
invite, will y'all send me one too? Last time I had to join through the sessions, but it's no big deal.
No
Yeah, sure.
problem.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We do not want to exclude one of Giggity's own.
No. Now, like I said, I've been here since season 1, and it started out with, I would say, 8 guys that we ran 3 or 4 nights a week, just a core group of guys that we knew how to race with each other and put on good races, and it's just grown and grown and grown. We've had some come and go, but I mean, it's just become a huge, thing, and I'm proud that, to be a part of Giggity and to see the growth that it's had. It's unbelievable. You know, it's there's even more team owners going to be added next season, and they're trying to wrap this season up, which I think we're getting pretty close to the playoffs, about 4 races away from the playoffs, because there's a lot of newer drivers waiting to join this new season for points. So it's going to be fun upcoming things here. I believe it's only going to get bigger and better, man.
I agree with you, and if it wasn't for Robbie Zids, again, I'm not going to name games, but if it wasn't for me meeting him mutually, I would have even gotten Heat 3, let alone Heat 4, guys. And then he helped bring me into Giggity as a commentator, so thank you, Robbie. And now I will be a participant on Monday. And Giggity is one of those teams. Somebody says, "Hey, I have a league race tonight," and they say, "Who with?" And they say Giggity. You're like, "Oh, look, you're already part of one of the top 5 online competitive racing leagues out there. The talent, the quality, and the cleanliness. What else can you ask for? I mean, I'd much rather have those 3 things than have a 40-person lobby of records, and Giggity does not offer that, guys.
Yeah, no, they try to keep it pretty smooth sailing. I mean, I'm not saying we don't have issues, but for as many people as we have, it's at a very minimum. So, I mean, that's why I'd say it's ran really good. It's ran by multiple people that make decisions together, and, they vote on things, and it's not one of those leagues, if you come in and win the race, you're going to get kicked out because you're fast. They want
If anything, you
faster
might get
guys.
drafted instead of kicked
Right,
out.
I'll just
right.
do a shout out real quick.
If you get,
Bill Gibson
yep.
would like to say, "What's up, Pudding?"
What up, Bill Gibson? Bill Gibson, fast guy. Come join Giggity, man. I have seen you in here a couple times, man. Come be part of it, man. Thank you, Bill Gibson. Appreciate the shout out.
I
Bill
was going to
Gibson
tell
is
you,
a
Puddin', I know you're running trucks on Monday, but the truck drivers are allowed to run on Friday too, and it's technically called developmental, but it's some guys are new, but not all the guys are new. But y'all run on Fridays as well, man. So you get to run two nights a week. Me and Ed though are kind of running that right now,
Yeah,
and
Edda
we've
was
had.
the one that helped. It was kind of coincidence. Like again, Robbie and I are friends, and him and I were just kind of in a private chat party, communicating, catching up. And Edda just jumped in and said, "Hey, Puddin', you want to drive?" And I was like, "Well, why not? Let's give this a shout." And he just put me into this. And with my wife's work schedule and everything, for all you guys who don't know, I'm in a different state every 13 weeks. She's a traveling
Oh
nurse.
wow.
My wife
Yeah.
is a beautiful, smart, talented woman. So we've been from Ohio to Baton Rouge to Myrtle Beach to St. Louis all the way to Washington, D.C., and we just moved this week back down to a different part of South Carolina so she could work. And I missed the developmental race this week, but no, I can't race. I can't wait to get in there and mixed up with you guys and see what I have. And just like what everybody else out there, people out there have heard of Giggity. They paid attention to Giggity Racing YouTube and they said, "Hey, we recognize your voice, we recognize your name, whether it be Mills or K Taddy or Robbie Vince, myself, or you. They recognize our voice. They knew who Giggity is, and they want to be a participant of it in it too. And it's kind of hard to make a decision. Do I want to race or do I want to just watch what quality racing we have here, guys?" But I did miss the race on development rates on Friday because we were moving. We got settled in here in South Carolina. So, yeah, I'm ready to mix it up with you boys. So see what I got. And just remember, I love you guys. Just don't rough me up too bad.
Oh, Puddin, we love you too, and it's always good to have you here in the booth. We got a guy here in the comments section, and he has asked, does anyone know where the trucks are running tomorrow night?
Watkins Glen is what I heard. And if that's the
that
case,
is correct.
If that's the case, I don't want to call myself the road course racer, but I do enjoy myself turning right as much as I do turning left. So let's have fun. But I believe it's Watkins Glen for that guy.
To be honest, it's easier for me to run the road courses in trucks. There's a little less power, I guess, there than it is in a cup car. They don't get as bad loose. So I think trucks at the Glen would be a fun race to race in, actually. I'd probably run better in a truck there than in a cup car because you overdrive your corners instead of, the truck's not having as much power. You don't overdrive your marks as much. So
you just brought up the word overdrive. We just had to worry about that at New Hampshire. You're not going to have to overdrive here at Daytona, but the thing is overdriving your draft partners. Guys, teammates, and strategy. Which is more important? I say both. Robbie?
And staying above the yellow line. Passing underneath the yellow,
You can't pass, but we've all been bumped down below it. But yes, you're right there, Roofer. If you get bumped, let out, get back up in there, and we will see that tonight. But these guys have that respect, which we're going to bring that word back up too.
And just 1 second, guys, we have a few more comments. The guy who asked a question about the trucks was C-Dubs, which I've raced with, and it's always a pleasure.
He's a DSR driver. Welcome. Thank you. He's a fellow DSR driver in trucks. I can't wait to race with my teammate. Go ahead.
And we also have another comment from, I do believe it's Hunty. Well, I call him Hunty the Lawnmower Wilds, and he said, "Oh, Glenn." And there's also Bill Gibson again. He said, "You guys are like NASCAR heat celebrities. Gig it, you guys."
Well, we appreciate that, Bill Gibson. We'll go back to Hunty real quick. I raced with you a Canadian tonight. You're fast.
I never thought I'd be a NASCAR heat legend, but it's a small niche community, but like I said, I have every esports guy on the PS4 side on my PlayStation. That's how small knit of a community it is. That they're all cool people, the actual esports guys. Brandon Gritton's, Smoke Fan that won the whole thing. It's that small of a community that people do know each other, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't like Fortnite where there's 2 million people and the odds of you knowing, a guy's name, is, unless he's your buddy or you play with him, a lot, is very slim. But on NASCAR you get to make new friends. I don't know, it's different than other sporting games too,
I agree with that. I was just going to say, like I said, Robbie and I, again, I'm not going to mention the game. Him and I met on it was a fighter game, and coincidentally, back-to-back days, we got spontaneously put in the same lobby. And that's how him and I became friends. Here, it's not a coincidence. It's so small-knit in a small group. And in NASCAR racing, or just racing in general, as a racer in real life myself, I could go and I see somebody with a Ford shirt and I could say, "Hey, you got some poop on your shirt." And he said, "Hey, you're wearing the wrong bow tie," and everybody laughs and high-five each other. It's not like going to a football game per se and you see somebody else with the opposing team on it and you guys get into a fight. NASCAR is not only close-knit, but everybody knows each other and everybody's friendly. And that's what I think brings this game we may not have as many competitors on this game as we do in other ones, but I think that's what brings this game to a lower level, and it's a great social event to compete with each other.
You see, I believe,
See,
you know, this NASCAR game is quite underrated for what it is, because I think this game's fantastic. Like I said
It
before,
is.
right.
I prefer it over Formula One any day. And,
Right.
you know, if you are
I love
watching
how
the
Robbie told me.
side,
Robbie
most
told me, he was
definitely.
like, "Hey," because I didn't have Heat 3, and this is when it came out. Robbie was like, "Hey, you need to download Heat 3. I want to beat you at your own sport." No offense, Robbie. I just had to try to do your accent. And I said, as a real race car driver and motorcycle racer, that's what I retired from. I retired from motorcycle racing, but I race cars. And I was like, okay, come on with your bad self, get some. And then when I played this game, it's not as easy as it looks. And people really don't, they look at a football player and they're like, man, that's hard knocks. They get hit. But they don't sit in a race car for 4 hours at a time in 170-degree heat, have to pee themselves with no water, whereas in a football game, you get a break every 30 seconds. If you go caution-free, your only break might be a 14-second pit stop where you get to chug some water and regroup. I think some of the NASCAR drivers they're the toughest people out there. And in this game,
it's hardcore, man. Yeah.
and to compete in this game,
And the
to
money
sit there
people
and
that
do a
will
50%
spend.
race at Talladega, what we're going to see tonight, it's going to be dedication and hard work. And people don't seem to get that, guys, you know?
Yeah, when you
There's
play
two
NASCAR,
ways,
it's a hobby.
right, to get better on this game, and that's through practicing and putting down a lot of laps. You can pay a little bit of money and get, better equipment too, and still, but just because you could go out there and get the baddest simulator there is, and if you're still overdriving your corner, you're still overdriving
You're going to
your
get beat by a
corner.
guy. You're going to get beat by somebody on a controller. Exactly. It's not about money. It's about talent, and people don't realize that. So, hey, this goes out to Bill Gibson, who's out there listening, and everybody else in the Giggity YouTube channel. Let's do a fan vote before the race starts. Favorite Darlington paint scheme this year? What out there? Who? Everybody paying attention. What's your favorite paint scheme that they had this year at the Darlington race? Guys, let's do a little fan vote. Let's bring them in.
In my opinion, the Denny Hamlin 11 car that was Western Auto for Darrell Waltrip was a sharp
the old
looking
chrome car. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a sharp looking car.
Robbie?
Yeah, one that stands out has always got to be chrome. So yeah, I'll go there.
You know what I think is going to win this
Dale
vote,
Jr.
though?
did was pretty awesome too.
You know what I think is going to win this vote this year, though? Is the Cole Trickle throwback car. I think the Cole Trickle City Chevrolet.
Yeah, that's another popular one.
And I didn't pay for the upgrade myself, and if I would have known about that, I probably would have paid for it just for that, and the Bubba Wallace, Richard Petty Chevrolet as an Air Force vet. What's cooler than seeing the Jaws of Life, as they call it, on the P-52 Mustang silver throwback that we see D. Smith run quite often here in Giggity Racing?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people. I'll be honest, I've seen some ugly paint schemes, but I've also seen some nice ones too. I mean, there's some people that just have some crazy looking cars. You can't even tell what the number is, but I've seen some beautiful cars on here on the custom sides too. Hopefully the booth gets better I think it will when the PS5 comes out. From what I'm hearing, it's going to be cross-platform with Xbox, so we won't have the debate anymore over who's faster, Xbox or PS4.
Well, we all know the PS4 guys will be, though.
Well, if you look at the leaderboards, it speaks for itself. But I do know some guys over there on Xbox that are really fast. I'm not going to say take anything away from them guys over there.
And see, I haven't heard that rumor, Roofer. But here's the thing:
everybody,
whether it be
PS4 is faster.
I've just got a blue screen real quick. Give me a minute. 1 second.
you know,
Yeah.
it's the love of the game, it's the love of the sport.
Bill Gibson says he likes a Days of Thunder throwback also. I'm a fan of that car. Definitely a fan.
Yeah. When Robbie and I first got this game, we did our customs. We both did the yellow, green, yellow. You know.
I've seen a lot of people making attempts at redoing it. They didn't put it in the paint schemes on this game because Dale Jr. is not a driver on the game, but the car Dale Jr. drove in the Xfinity race,
the Wrangler
Darlington,
car,
was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
And him finishing fifth, man, after being retired for as long as he had, I thought that was actually not a bad finish for.
That's pretty impressive, correct? Yeah.
Right. He's a man that really, in my opinion, owned Daytona and Talladega, but to see him come back and do it at Darlington for like a track he wasn't really well known for, he did a good job, you know. So a lot of people give
I
Junior
played on a
a
lobby the other
flat.
night.
You either like him or you don't. Oh, sorry. It's, you know, some people are Junior fans, some people are not. You know, me, I was a senior fan, so I'm older. I'm 38, so obviously when Senior died, I started pulling for Junior right off rip. You know, so
right.
But,
yep. I'm right there with you. I'm the same age as you are, and Robbie's not far behind us. You know.
Hey.
Okay, he's a little bit younger than us. We'll do that. But I got the gray hair and bald spot to prove that I'm older than him.
You know what I was happy to see though? Devin Detto being the third most popular driver this year. I mean, who would have thought that preseason? I mean, he was probably my favorite driver this year. I was rooting for him at Bristol harder than I rooted for anybody all season long, just because since Dale Jr. retired, I don't have anybody sincere that I was before for years. You know.
Well,
somebody else to keep an eye on, though, guys.
C-Dubs says I was also a Dale Senior fan.
Yeah, that if anybody
somebody else to keep an eye on though is his name is Tanner Gray, and for you who aren't all motorsports fans, Tanner Gray won the NHRA Pro Stock Championship at the age of 18 2 years ago, and now he is driving ARCA cars and Xfinity cars, finishing in the top 10, top 15. He went from going straight line to being able to maintain it. So somebody else to keep an eye on out there is Tanner Gray. No, I have no affiliation with him, but the guy to go from a kid to go from drag racing to
I want to see how he makes
sport.
That transition. That's going to be a big transition to go from NHRA running.
He's doing it well, though. He's doing it well. He's doing it well.
You know, Travis Pastrana tried it for motocross. You know, Haley Deegan. You know, or
Ricky Carmichael.
Right.
And I'm a motorcycle guy.
Jimmy Johnson, he started off in trucks, motocross, Baja.
Yep, he started off in motocross, and he did the off-road truck stuff too. And I think that's why a lot of these guys have such great success is because when they run on loser cars, they're used to running on a loser surface.
Right.
So they can compare that car to that same similarity. And it was different, but at the same time, turning right to turn left, we all know cars. Doc Hudson said it best. You turn right to turn left, but to go to left, you go straight.
Right. Which tonight at Daytona, you won't see much sliding around, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some tracks loose is better. It's just you got to be able to maintain that loose. I mean, that's why it's like some of them drivers, like you said, are able to run so fast and put laps down like they are, because they can run a loose race car and without wrecking it. You know, and there's a fine line on here. Like, I've had Smoke Fan, the guy who won the esports, give me some of his setups, and for me, I couldn't drive them. It was way too loose. But that's what some of the best setups on the game are just real loose. But you just got to be really good at the throttle control.
Throttle control, another thing we brought up earlier. You're right.
That's going to be a big thing here at Daytona tonight. When you're running third, fourth, fifth in the line, you can't be 100% in the throttle. Sometimes you're 40%, 50%. And if you can sit back there and do it consistently and sit back there in fourth place, you can save massive amounts of fuel.
People don't realize, though, that you can drag the brake and be faster. You can drag a brake at Daytona and be fast. But these guys in the giggity, they know that. Now, I have a question for one of our fellow commentators. Robbie.
Yeah?
Over there, overseas, over the pond, what's it like to sit on the left-hand side of a car and turn left instead of sit on the right-hand side of the car?
Well, I'd say it's perfectly normal for me.
Oh, so you go both ways is what you're saying.
I was wondering
Yeah.
if it was different for
I'm
you
just
making.
kidding,
Are you
guys. I'm
used to
just
making
kidding.
right-hand turns or left-hand turns? Yeah.
Like I said, Robbie's one of my good friends. I had to get a little one in there. If you don't know Robbie, Robbie Vids is from the UK. He is from over there. But it's again, that is what NASCAR does. It's even bringing Europe over here. Even
I've met a
video
guy from
games.
Australia on here.
Exactly. I race with a guy. He's from Brazil. His name is Matt Thiessen.
Yeah,
I
Matt
don't. I,
Thiessen from Brazil. He's
yep.
also a Giggity member.
Yep.
He's one of our teammates, actually.
Yep.
Which I'm still RKM for till the end of this year, but we're still going to be Dirty South Racing's affiliated with RKM. Ed though and RKM pretty much a partnership, pretty much kind of.
That's
so,
right. Yeah, you and I are. Yeah, you and I are teammates.
Right, so we're
That's right.
Just,
teammates.
I've got to put
Yeah,
you
and
guys
the
on
thing
hold.
about it is-
I've just got to put you guys
Yep.
on hold for a minute, and I'll need to accept this. 1 sec.
Four. Let's put it like this. I got into a lobby and I started talking to a guy like we all. I used to call it Puddin's Princess. This is a joke, but the guys you get into a group with the people that you race with 4, 5, 6 hours a day, and there's 15 of us who all race, and Matt Thiessen just so happened to be one of those guys. And again, yeah, Matt Thiessen down there in Brazil, and like you said, you met a guy down in Australia.
Right.
It's worldwide. It's worldwide.
I've
It's
raced
not just Formula
probably
One.
500 Formula One races, but I've never had anybody, contact me after a race, or say, hey, you want to form a league or do anything. It's NASCAR is more about that, I don't know. I would have loved to have done some league racing on Formula One because it's still, it's a fun game to play, but it's just, you don't form the bond that you form like you do in NASCAR. And I think it's because there's
1000%.
closer
I
finishes,
concur. I concur.
it's a lot, right. There's a fine line from being the fastest guy on the game to being a B class driver to being, it's very, it's not that far off, Like I consider myself a B class driver. I'm not even a class. I'm not top 50 on the game, but there's a fine line from, I'm not that far off from some of the, top guys in the game,
And just the other night, though, like I
Formula
told my
One, I was
wife,
10 seconds off.
since I'm retired now and I don't have a lot to do and I don't have friends because we move everywhere, this is my social pipeline, And the other night, we got into a lobby with a guy, I'll say the name, C. Vivek, and there was about 15 of us. Not only were we talking NASCAR, we were talking NASCAR throwback paint schemes. We were talking NASCAR drivers from the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. We were talking about music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. There's a social pipeline that this game brings in. And just like everybody out there on the YouTube channel, Bill Gibson, I wouldn't have known him if it wasn't for the game. He's a great guy. Robbie Vids, I would have met you, and everybody out here. It's just, I had more fun talking about.
And the boys are off. Sorry to interrupt you quickly, but they've got all set into their grid.
Mills
and
on the pole. He set the pole there, but he didn't have a good restart. He's already down there underneath the yellow, but they're going to probably let him in. He got tail whipped there. Unfortunate, but they made it clean there. The 24 and 12 have a little bit of contact, but
what setting would you run here, Robbie?
I'll run a slider one. Stable's best, definitely.
Roofer?
I'm like Robbie. I like having a stable car. I run more of a 3 or about a 3, but it's still stable.
I like a loose car, but I don't like it too tight. But yeah, I'd go 2.3. 2.3 is not loose or tight, but it gives you that flexibility. So you're not as wiggly on a 1, if that makes sense. You're not snail trailing down the straightaway. But boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, Robbie Vids, MP Ruger, put in the booth. We're in for a
9 hard in the wall as the 24. RJ Smitty accidentally
checkmate Taylor.
There. Yeah.
And it's
I think
the
we're
night
actually
race.
in the caution.
Yep. And as we were talking about, one of the favorite throwback paint schemes there is in the 24 with that Cold Trickle paint scheme, guys. Robbie, it seems you got the broadcast going up. Has there been any updates on the fan votes for paint schemes?
No, none for paint schemes, but we've had a few comments from C-Dubs, and he said that Carl Larson, I do believe he met him when he was 15 years old and driving a 360 sprint car.
Yep, that makes sense. Yep, 360 sprint.
And Bill Gibson, he says NASCAR has the best fans.
See,
Bill Gibson, it stands like you why NASCAR is the best sport out there. They don't have the best fans. This is the best sport, and it's because of people like you, Bill Gibson. And C-Dub thinks, yes. You got to meet Kyle Larson. When Tony Stewart retired, who was my favorite driver, I was a Kyle Larson fan after that. Yeah, driving 360 sprint cars, driving dirt.
RKM on the apron.
Here we go, boys.
Going back to the back. I think he made a mistake and didn't pit, so he said, "Go. I don't want to hold you guys up. I'll go to the back. It's early." So I don't like about RKM. He's been here since season one of them OG drivers, and really one of the most patient out of them that there is. Sometimes he gets punished for it, for being too patient.
You brought it up earlier, though. As long as you don't delete that draft. You brought that up earlier, the roofer. Just maybe he's falling back just to suck in and maintain. And here it is, that 13, 14 car trail going down the road. We got that long draft, boys and girls. Is anybody going to go to that high side? Robbie?
Yeah, I've just had a slight request here. Somebody wants me to watch Checkmate Taylor for a lap, but I'll tell you what, we're going to watch him for a little while. He's sat here at the back, and I want to see if RKM manages to catch up the grid again.
Yeah, I know that he's falling off pace. He tried to hang on to the back of the draft, but it's so hard because there's 9 of them in a line.
Looks like they're going to the high side, roofer. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's going to be good for RKM. If they start running too wide, he might have a chance to catch him.
Oh, car into the wall, bumps it. Anytime you bump the wall here, a 10th is an eternity. That can't slow you guys. It slow you down so much. You can lose that draft just by bumping that wall, as we all know, guys.
See, Talladega is like twice as wide as Daytona, which some people don't really realize that. But Talladega, you can make the high side work a lot better. Daytona, it is really hard to do. You can see that strong black line and where the groove is, and that's just naturally where the car is going to be faster. I mean, it's hard to pass on the high side.
You can definitely tell who's using, sometimes you can definitely tell who's using a controller and who's on a wheel, but I'll tell you what, racing around Daytona is difficult. When you've got drivers that can actually drive, you don't want to wreck anybody, and when you're on a wheel, your heart starts pounding, your hands start sweating, and you're constantly letting off and pressing the accelerator again, or you dab in the brake just so you don't wreck anybody. But me personally, I like to leave a bit of a gap and just ride the draft and save a bit of fuel.
I like to be where 31 is right now. I like to either be out front being the rabbit and being chased, or right there where the 71's at. I like pushing too, because I can hold a good line.
I like your terminology there. Either I want to be out front and be the rabbit, or I want to be dead last and be the snake and work my way up to the front.
I don't like being in the middle, because if the guy behind you ain't, it's like an accordion effect, you'll catch damage. But it looks like they're doing a really good job of it right now. I haven't seen anybody making any contact.
One more fan vote, just for conversation. We'll get back to this racing. What do you guys think for when it comes to plate racing? Who prefers to drive Talladega? Who prefers to drive Daytona? Bill Gibson is one of the guys out there listening too. Let's hear your thoughts. As we're watching these guys be patient and stay in that draft. Like we know, you don't want to be too low, but if you give an inch, somebody will take that mile, guys.
I'll give you my input on that. Talladega, you're going to get the better finishes, in my opinion, because the start-finish line is farther back by a couple of 100 feet, and you're going to get those nose-to-nose, a second off, or a split-second finishes side by side. Daytona, you're not going to get that. It's all about who can really hold that bottom. I've not seen many people make the top work on this game. It just don't work on this game.
Bill Gibson says he's a fan of Talladega. Also,
Yeah.
C-Dub says
Oh,
I
they're
like
3
Dega.
wide. Yeah, that's what
Daytona
I was
is too
gonna say.
narrow.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you,
what I
C-Dub.
figured.
Thank you, Bill Gibson, C-Dub. We love your input here, guys.
Yeah, Daytona's almost became a one-line track, two at the most. You don't want to be 3 wide. Whereas Talladega, you can be up to 5 wide. You don't want to be, but you can be. You know.
You see, I've ran that high line, that real third lane high line on a wheel. You can do it. On a controller,
Right.
it's really difficult, but
It's tough.
I've always preferred Daytona.
My biggest downfall is the faster line, in my opinion, is just above that yellow line right there. So you
And
want to be
people
about a
stick
half
their
a car
nose
up.
in there.
Yeah,
Right.
and they don't want to stick with you. They want to go
That's-
underneath you and get that position, but they don't realize, you know, depending upon how many laps left and the length of the race, the faster line is to stay just above that
Right.
yellow line, in my opinion.
It's a half a car length up, really, but it's so tempting for the guy behind you to stick his nose in there. I'm the type that if I'm out front, I'm willing to lose a tenth or two, and I'm gonna paint that yellow line the whole way around just to not even give you a hole to put your nose in there. So that's why I'm sweating the whole time, hoping to not come off the bottom, because the guy in second, his natural instincts just to stick it in there.
I love your terminology where you paint that yellow line where I may not be a painter. I might be on the step ladder. I might be just above it, but I love your terminology. And we're seeing it play out a little bit where some of these guys are, as we see them a 3-car draft making on that second lane. I don't know, guys, if they can make 3 cars can make up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. Can 3 cars gain on 6 on that outside line?
I'm not sure, it all depends, but one question I do have is, say you're running in 3rd or 4th position, I mean feel free to comment in the comment section as well. Say you're running in 3rd or 4th position and you've seen your teammate, he slips out, say he's in front of you, and he slips out, what do? Would you let him back in and ride the draft with him, or would you just take the spot and just say, look, you're going to have to slot in behind me?
No. As a teammate, without a doubt, my personal opinion is let him back in there. Don't lose him. Get him in there.
If there's a guy on my bumper that's not a teammate and I'm gonna hurt him by slowing him down, I'm just gonna jump out there with my guy and fall to the back at this point of the race and work our way back up there. You know.
Sorry to the broadcasters and everybody out there. My dog apparently heard something. I apologize for him barking. Go ahead.
If it's the end of a stage, Robbie, or the end of the race, you know, it's different. If he messes up and pops out there, I'm gonna probably stick my nose in there and go. I mean, it all depends on if it's what point of the race it's at.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars on a lower line. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 cars on that high line. They're trying to make that high line work, guys, and it can. It's just you gotta have that. You gotta have. This is what do they call it? How do they say it? Power in numbers. You gotta have power in numbers, as we see them all suck back down into that single line draft.
But like I said, it's easier to do at Dega. It's really tough to do here at Daytona. It's just it would take all of them to do it. Like at least over half of them. You know, 7 of them to go up top and get a draft going. And it's just so hard to hold a steady line up there.
Okay, so we have some answers here from my question. Before I say these, we got a new guy in the comment section. We got D Smith. He says, "Let's go Team Noco." FaZe Gunner from the Truck Series. He said, "I'll let him back in. You never know. He could help you out later." Bill Gibson says, "Depend on how hard I'm being pushed," which is a really good answer.
Right.
I would always want to help the team.
Now, this is a great fan vote. Would you rather push or would you rather drag everybody? With a fan vote.
I've never drug my brake. To be honest, I've never done that. I don't know how. You know, I've been in 2nd or 3rd place and only have to be 50% throttle, but I've never actually drove my brakes, so I've never. No, I don't know how that is. I think right now though that 2 cars get a run on the bottom.
Wow, look at them go up to the high line. Sorry to interrupt you, Reaper. Look at them. They're all on the high line, and now 2 cars are
happens on this bottom here. I think they're going to come right up to 2nd and 3rd.
Oh, little tail whack right there.
Oh,
that's
checkmate
what happens when you
Taylor
go to
onto the inside.
And if they stay up top, they're going to come up to the front. Oh,
Yeah, I
see,
guess the way
now the caution comes out.
I guess the better way to put that is do you push or do you pull? Where would you rather be? I rather push. I don't like being pulled just because I find myself mirror driving when I shouldn't.
Well,
That's
if there's a
you
guy
know.
like Robbie in front of me that's holding a steady line, because on the super speedways, I usually try to find him because he's on a wheel and he holds a steady line. I mean, I'm being honest here. I want to push him, and push because I know he can be pushed through the straightaway, the corners, all the way around the track. But then there's other guys that's on controllers where their rear end of their car is swaying back and forth. I'm scared to get near them because they chop your nose off and it ruins your race, So
Now, when you go to the
tricky.
pits, what adjustments do you make though? The roofer, what adjustments do you rate?
On
Do you raise it?
sliders, these guys are trying to get their tires all the way up to 60, and that's really tough.
My favorite tire pressure though, I wouldn't go quite to 60. I like going 55 on the right, 54 left. That's just me. Again, I shouldn't give that out to everybody. Yes, you have
I'm at
less
60
rolling.
all the way around, man. I don't know.
You have less rolling resistance. I agree with that, roofer. Yeah, but I just feel that I handle better. I'm not quite as loose,
Right.
But yeah,
Your controller, so it might be different.
you're right. Exactly.
It
Everybody's
handles so
different,
good on
especially
the
if you're
wheel
under.
compared to the other tracks that I just don't notice it probably. Some of the other tracks are so tough on the wheel compared to Daytona that I probably just don't notice it. But I know
Well,
60
on my way
is
down
really
here from
good at
Washington,
Dega,
D.C. to
too.
South Carolina, we stopped by a mailbox, and I put my Christmas list in. I hope Santa Claus brings me a wheel so I can be just as fast as you guys, because I do believe a wheel can take more than half a second off than any track.
Yeah.
I just hope Santa Claus brings it.
I hope you made it. I hope you got it.
The two's gone into the wall there. Who is that? Oh, the two of Mills. He got pushed into
Mills.
the wall by number 12. Sorry to interrupt you there, guys, but just wanted to...
No, you're fine.
I hope you didn't make the mistake like I did. I hope you got the metal pedals from the get-go because,
I don't know yet. Like I said, Christmas ain't here, so I'm hoping.
Well, I can give you if you're on a budget, the best wheel on a budget is a T150 Pro, which comes with the metal pedals and the clutch.
And that's going to send that out to all our fans out there, so they have an update too. There,
a lot of people like the Logitech G29. To me, I like the T150 because you can change steering radiuses. But I mean, if you have the money, the T300 is the Cadillac.
Oh, car on the wall.
As well as Fanatec. Yeah.
There you go, guys. For one of Giggity Zones, if you want to look at getting a wheel, Giggity Zones, MP Roofer is giving you some advice right there. Touche. Well,
I just
wanted a wheel. I wasn't going to go too technical.
Right.
He's bringing that into it.
Smoke Fan had a T300, and like I said, he won the Esports Championship. He was Hot Rod on PS4. And he had a T300 and it broke down on him one day in the middle of qualifying for the esports, so he went out and bought a G29, and he actually went back to the T150 that he had because it was better than the G29. So that's why I'm just he knows he's the fastest. He's probably went through every wheel in the game. That's the only reason why I'm saying that, not because I own the T150 myself. It's just I know that T300's the best, probably like the $400 range. You might be able to find one used a little cheaper. Fanatec's the very best, $600-700 range.
I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm not going to mention any names.
RJ went to the top side and gave it up.
There's a company out there who delivers to people. But here we are. We see them. Yeah, we're seeing them spread out right there, too wide, and somebody got in the wall there, Robbie.
And it's another thing, it's how much you're into the game. Like me, I play every day, so to me, dropping $150 on a pair of metal pedals today was nothing. I mean, I'm going to get the money out of it, easily.
I'm still on a controller, obviously, but my controllers, I have noticed if I play, I don't want to mention it again, any other games out there, some fighter games, or war games, Modern Warfare, let's use that for an example. I wear it out going left to right, up and down. I actually have numbered my controllers to the least used to the most used because my least used for a NASCAR game gives me the best control. Because it's
Right.
not, you know what I'm saying, the bearings
Not
are
as
more
stiff.
out.
Right.
Correct. All right, guys, here we go. We're going back to Green Flag Racing. We're going 2x2 at Daytona with the Giggity Racing League. We have MP Roofer, we have Robbie Vids in the booth, and your boy Puddin'. Let's see what they can do here, guys.
That really helped Smitty out right there when that caution happened because he went to the high side and was fixing to fall to the back. He ended up coming out first place there because the caution dropped right as he went to the high side. There's a 40H right there, spanker on his bumper. Right now, until you can get in, you're forced to make the high line work as you're seeing people, they're panicking, you know.
I have it tattooed on my rib cage, high, wide, and handsome. Yes, I was a dirt guy. Yes, I was a motorcycle guy. Yes, I raced E-mods. But guess what? You can make the high line work at Daytona. Let's see how this works out with these guys. We got C-Dub out there. We got Bill Gibson. Who else is out there in the internet world, Robbie Vids?
We've also got, we've got C-Dubs, we've got Pro 75, we've got D. Smith also.
I want to thank you guys for watching, man. Yeah, all these guys, most of them, you know, I've seen them, you know, they're here to watch all our races, and want to thank them for tuning in, and I wish, you know, and we don't have, like, you know, it's the past 2 weeks, Xfinity hasn't, on Saturday night, hasn't been broadcasted, and it's really good races, you know. I'm really hoping that we can get a broadcast crew for every night, you know, not every,
you know, I'd be more than happy to, I'd be more than happy to commentate and
well, anytime you're available, let us know, man. Because Xfinity, we've been starving for a broadcast. Even though it seems like I do better when I'm not broadcasted, so I don't know.
We just want to appreciate everybody out there watching, everybody listening. Thank you again, and everybody out there who appreciates Robbie Vids and then Pete Roofer. And I changed my name from Puddin' 98 to Puddin' Knievel. It's a long story, but yes, we appreciate you guys for listening in and liking our input. As we see them, they're starting to get struggling here. They're starting to try to get in that line, guys.
Yeah, it just goes to show, you know, some people think that Daytona's an easy track, but it ain't. You know, you have to be so steady. It is unreal.
Oh, three cars! 3-car wide. Sorry to interrupt you, Robbie. I just saw 3-car wide, one to the wall.
In the back. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt Robbie there. I didn't mean to see that. I just saw that accident.
Another caution.
Yeah, that's a 00 book racing there, and it looks like there's another caution. It just goes to show, you know, you had a track like New Hampshire, which, yeah, is extremely difficult.
It's
and you would
night
think,
and day, right?
Yeah, exactly. You'd think Daytona would be easier compared to that, but it's not.
Right.
And then, like we talked about in the New Hampshire broadcast, Roofer and Robbie, guys, you're going from a tight paperclip to a wide track. Mm-hmm. Your concentration level is not necessarily finding that line like New Hampshire. It's finding the guy in front of you and your teammates and staying behind them. And to stay behind somebody in that draft, as we all know, very difficult, guys. As we go back to green flag here.
Yeah, these boys just need to remember, you know, they've got plenty of laps to go and they need to play the patient game. If you end up dropping to the back, it doesn't matter. You could just work your way up to the front because everybody at some point will make one mistake.
Exactly. 9 times out of 10, this race is usually won in the last laps, not the beginning of the race. You know, it's if you can just sit right there, second and third, and be patient, and hopefully you got a teammate with you to where you can pounce on that driver and get him by himself on the last lap, and have you and your teammate coordinate a pass together on the high side. You can make it work.
Robbie, Rupert, you both just said it in the same sentence. In order to win a race, you have to finish the race. Put yourself in that position. And this is something we're not going to bring up a lot of certain words that we brought up from New Hampshire, but patience. Look at these two teammates. We got two Fords right here in identical paint schemes. They're working together. This is what we're talking about. Teammates are vital. They're vital.
I know you guys have raced the challenges. You know, everybody has tried all the challenges. I'm sure this is a good way to explain it. You know, the draft challenges on this game. There's no way you can beat them unless you use the AI to draft off of them to get all the way around the field and past all of them. So it's pretty much the same way in at Daytona. If you don't have a teammate to draft with, or even if it's not your teammate, just someone that you have respect for and you know holds a good line. Team up with them and do the best that you can do. It takes a friend here at Daytona to get big things done. You're not going to get it done by yourself.
If you're going to bring out a song, you're going to bring this song out real quick. You'll find out who your friends are.
I'd just like to say a big congratulations to C-Dubs. He ran a league race at Martinsville today, 500 laps, and he finished second place.
Great
Way
job,
to go,
man.
C-Dub! Congratulations, especially in Martinsville. That is a tedious to do 100% there. That's tedious. Good job.
Well, I know I've heard of
C-Dub.
him on dirt being really fast, so I would assume Martinsville would be a really good track for him being as fast as he is on dirt. So, great job, man.
It's so cool to hear people like again. Somebody recognized my voice, and they stumbled across this on YouTube. It's so cool, and we appreciate everybody out there in YouTube world watching the Giggity Racing League on Robbie Vid's broadcast of Daytona right now. It's so cool to see so many people out there that pay attention to this. Even if they can't participate, they're intrigued enough to not race and pay attention to this racing. Because guess what, guys? You can learn from what these guys are doing. These are some of our elite drivers.
Yeah, I'd just also like to say, if you're watching the broadcast right now, don't be afraid to use your device, whatever you're using, to share what we're broadcasting onto Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything you're on, and bring in that racing community to here at Giggity Racing League, and get them in the comments section. Let's talk about racing.
That's for sure. I know today
if you think you're fast, guys, if you think you're fast, come join Giggity. See how fast you are. Put your talents up. Put your talents up. There's a development league. There's a dirt league. We got trucks. We got Xfinity. We got Cup. It runs everything. Come to Giggity Racing League. Test your skills. I know MP Roofer. Oh, we got a car on the inside. We got Robbie Viz. We got T Clay. We got Matt Thiessen. We got Bill Gibson. We got Eboz. We got Warpig out there. These guys all raced in public lobbies.
MP Roofer. Over to you, bud.
They all raced in public lobbies, tried out in development, and they all got accepted. Come test your skills. Giggity Racing League is the league.
Actually I think we're coming to, I can wait till we get to, I think we're at the end of the stage here, or maybe a caution, but I actually made a video today. If any of those that want to subscribe to my channel, it's Mike Pittman, MikePittman, which I might change it over to MP Roofer so more people can find it, but I'm actually posted probably a top 15 Daytona setup, custom setup in the game, and a top 20 Atlanta setup. What I did was go in championship mode, and I put it on expert and 105, and I did a 13% race, and then I went through the replay and did full replay and commentated it. And I'm going to do a whole season custom setups like that, and then at the end of the race I'm going to give the viewers my custom setup. So that,
there you go, guys. You want to be faster? Learn from the fastest.
There's two really fast setups out there, and that's
and here we go, guys. We're going back to the sorry,
right. Well, you can see in the game the way I do it, I go straight to my custom setup. That you can see that's the setup that I use. There's no camera work or nothing like that, because I'm not really good at editing. So I had to use the replay. But back to the race here, I seen Smitty actually, go from the front back here to about 8th, 9th, 10th. Let's see if he can work his way back in that green and yellow cold triple car. I'm noticing 12 having a little trouble hitting trackmate Taylor around on the backstretch.
5 wide, guys. Here we go. Let's see if they can gather back up.
We got some in the dirt. Are we going to have a caution, I believe, for checkmate Taylor? I hope so. No, I don't think so. I don't hear the engines come. Yes, the engines are coming down.
I've got a question. I've got a question here. I've got a question here in the comments section. It says, any relation to Darren Pittman? The sprint car
No,
driver.
I do know the sprint car driver in the World of Outlaws, sir, is that you're talking about, and no, I'd wish to say that I was related to him. We are from the same area. We could be, but not that I know of. But he is a really, really good World of Outlaw driver, but same last name, spelt the same way.
There's also another question here, not a question but a statement, and it's by Bill Gibson. He says Giggity is the most talked about league on the game.
That's awesome, guys. Congratulations to Giggity Racing for that, because of how clean and fast you guys all are. That says something. Congratulations.
We try to build like a tight-knit community here, really there's no outsiders. We don't try to, we try to include everybody and try to help each other. If someone's down, we try to help them out and give them the best tips we can. It's all about everybody being fast and talented instead of one guy just, being, I don't know, winning all the races. As you can see, Smitty and Spanker's fixing to make the high line. They're fixing to make the best run I've seen all night. I think we might have something going on here. Let's see. The thing is, right now the 48 can come down. The 24 here in a second can come down, but then you're going to leave the 71 and 31 out to dry. Let's see what they do. They all get past. That's how you make the high side work at Daytona. I'm glad they finally showed it. I love it. It's a numbers game, man. It's like I said, 4 against 1, and the one car went straight to the back, which, and now if he can get a group together, they can, as you can see, the 31 pulled up there, but unfortunately no one else went with him, so now he's going to go to the 5th. Who is that in the one? That's Noco. Oh,
Yeah, Noco's back.
Yeah, he is a master here at Daytona. To be honest, I'm really comfortable sitting right behind Noco, usually pushing, because he's a really good rabbit.
With what we're seeing tonight, Roofer and Robbie, my most comfortable seat is up here in the booth, because I don't know how anxious I would be down there on the track watching these guys.
I'll be honest with you, man. I ran Wednesday night with them, and they did 2 50%ers, and it was supposed to be 3 races that night. And the amount of laps that we ran, it wore me out physically. Turning the wheel that many times. Like I said, I'm injured at the moment, so it's not as easy for me. I fell off a roof, but it just compared to the Xfinity and truck races.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, actually, my name right now should be couch sitter, because I'm actually not roofing at the moment because of my accident. But like I said,
we're glad you're okay.
Yeah, it was a close one. I could have been in a wheelchair, so thank God.
That's the benefit, that you're okay.
Right, and that's another thing, man. We've had some tragedies here at Giggity, and we treat each other like family. We come together like family, when things like that happen.
Well, Boomhauer had a situation happen to him, and he said his pride moment is when he came back, and everybody straight was like, Boomhauer, you're back. He was happy, and he said everybody in Giggity Racing League sent him personal messages, text messages, or phone calls, and was worried about him. And then when he came back, everybody was excited to see him back. That it's not like, oh crap, he's back. It's like, oh great, Boomhauer's back. And they all gave him support, just like that. And I'm glad you got the same support.
Right, he was a season 1 guy that was one of the first 8 guys, like I said, that ran, So it was tough to lose him for them couple months, and so when you make a relationship with a friend like that, or someone that you ran hard with and pretty much race with for 2 months, and then they drop off the map, and all of a sudden they come back, they was dealing with something tough. It's always good, all of us have families, we don't always get to race, we always got family life we got to juggle too. And you just got to juggle it, just like in real life. It's a tough life. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, it'd be a great profession to me, being a professional race car. But I give these guys respect. I have my throttle. I mean, my steering sensitivity or force feedback pretty low to where it don't have a whole lot of like a real car would handle. You got to be an in shape, tough guy to do this week in and week out. I mean.
you're not talking like you said back in the 70s, 80s, and even into the 90s. Like you talk about, these guys were Iron Men, and
Right,
now
back then they were legends, man. Without power steering
no
stuff.
power
Oh
steering,
right.
no goggles
Yeah, if
or
you've never
ski
watched Dylan
goggles. All
Hart,
this like stuff. So it looks like we come to a stage end here, guys.
me, I was spoiled, man. My dad was a NASCAR fan. I was born in '81, and just happened to have cable. ESPN started airing, or TNN one, and I grew up watching NASCAR. Even Richard Petty was still racing. When
Oh
I
yeah,
was
that big Richard Petty crash at Talladega. I remember that. I remember where Rusty Wallace
I tell you
winning
what,
the
speaking of
championship.
crashes, the Snowball Derby last night, that crash that happened to that fiery crash they had, they were real lucky that guy wasn't bad as it was. That's usually the last big late model race of the year that they have. That's how Kyle Larson actually got famous, was winning the Snowball Derby. And Kyle Busch finished second, couldn't do nothing with him the whole weekend, but that's how Kyle Larson actually got
And we
known on the
appreciate
map.
everybody's thoughts and prayers for his fast recovery.
Yeah, I don't have his name right, but I do know it was a really, really bad accident. I think he
You
broke
guys,
his leg and everything. Yeah.
have you guys noticed while you're out Talladega, as we're going 3-4 wide here, it's hard to get up to speed and not quote on what I call a snail trail. Everybody's zigzagging. How do you guys combat that?
My gear setup, I use a different. 9 times out of 10 when I'm racing on Daytona or something, I'm using it in a custom setup lobby. So my gear ratios combat that. I have a pretty low gearing. Because when your RPM's up like that, it makes your car want to wiggle. I don't know, which.
I find short shifting helps combat that on a
Right, that
preset.
helps too. Yeah, on preset. You can't do nothing about the gear ratio. Alright.
Robbie,
Yeah, sorry, a bit zoned out here because the racing here is unreal. Just sat here
They're doing a good
enjoying
job.
it.
Yeah.
what is your strategy as we see that McDonald's car pulling everybody down the straightaway? What's your strategy?
No code.
In the back of your mind, Robbie, what's your strategy to make sure you got enough fuel, but not to hit and another thing we should bring up is speeding penalties. You don't want to speed because look, cars can go into the pits under green flags. I mean, how do you it's a fine line here, guys. And as we see RJ spinning that 24 Colt Trickle replica car we all like, he's starting to lose that draft. But how do you combat that,
48
Robbie?
just lost his draft. Yeah, but he's getting a good push from 88. Sorry, go ahead, Robbie.
No, you're alright. Mainly you got to stay calm. I mean, when you're doing tracks like this, I'd sit behind the leader all day long until the last two, and then that's when I start making my move. But you do need to stay calm. I found myself recently, not keeping my cool when it started to affect my performance, and
Exactly.
I start bumping into people and stuff. You got to stay calm and collective, and you got to be vigilant in what you're doing.
Ooh,
Exactly.
big wreck right there. We got two cars. I'm watching RKM Giggity right there, and he bumps into the side of the 31. 31 goes spinning down the back stretch.
Caution
Sorry, guys.
here.
Did not mean to interrupt you, but I was just following RKM when that all happened. Unintentional,
That's Spank.
obviously.
He got
But
a huge damage Spank did, but I'm glad Robbie touched on that subject because, like, I've noticed the same thing lately, Robbie, to where, on because I've missed like 3 or 4 races on Saturday night Xfinity. I'm pretty much on the cut. I'm in 11th place, about 40 points out of the playoffs. So, like Saturday, I put so much pressure on myself Saturday night that I made a lot of mistakes and got into people that I normally don't ever even make contact with, just because I was putting so much pressure on myself and making myself look bad, kind of. So,
I like how you touch on that. Nerves are a factor. Going into Monday night for my first Giggity in a truck, I'm nervous.
Oh, it's that serious, yeah.
I had the opportunity that one of our fearless leaders, Kate Taddy, for the Giggity Racing All-Star race, said, "Hey, I'm tired of you not racing," and he put me in one of his cars. And I was speaking with Robbie pre-race, how nervous I was, and this is it's not a real game. It's not a real race. It's a real game, but I mean, I was nervous going into it, watching Giggity and Buck and RJ and Trout and Mills and Roofer and Cloud. I was super nervous going into that. I can't imagine how these guys feel going into a race like this.
It's tough. It is.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
one of my what did I do? When Giggity first started this season, I did one of my debut races at one of these big events at the beginning of the season, and I went from truck straight into Xfinity, and I did both opening races on Daytona, and I went on to win the one in Xfinity.
Was it Daytona or Daytona?
Daytona. And
I'm just being a butthead.
I went on to
ahead,
win it, but I'll tell you what, by the end of the race, my heart was absolutely pounding.
It's intense, and again, that's what gave
That was a
racing
heck
and
of a
believe.
race too, man. That was like you said. I won the very. It wasn't a points race, but it was the very first Daytona, the pre-luge race. But just winning that, man, it was just like. It gives you such an adrenaline high when you finally do win a league race, or even just an online race in an online lobby with 6 guys. It's just unexplainable, I guess.
I mean, I get nervous leading a race like he's leading out front right now. I mean, look at him pull this car of incredible drivers behind you that can pull at any time. Oh, car into the wall, 31, that's Banks again, touches the wall. You've got to be nervous when you have this much talent.
Right, you don't understand when these guys are 5, 6, 7 in a line, they're going into the corner like 215 mile an hour, so it's very hard to keep your car on the bottom because naturally you're going so fast, it wants to pull up, you know. As you see Buck, he's worked his way in a 00 all the way up there to second.
It's good to see Buck back up there, yeah.
Yeah,
we normally talk about him a lot. Yeah,
right.
we talk about him a lot, but now here. Let's put this out for a fan vote.
Timac there in third, by the way, is another surprise there. You know, I haven't never raced with the guy, and he's really right there sitting third. Wicked gatekeeper pushing him. That's doing really good.
Yeah, I got to admit, you know, at the beginning of the race, Timac, he was all over the place and he was a bit uneasy, but he seems to have found his groove now and he's looking better. He might have his adjustments
in here. That's the thing about default.
I wish they gave you more time to put tire pressures in, Roofer. I'm sorry to cut you off. I wish they gave you more tires to you know.
Yes.
That's what I was saying. Is I wish car contact right there. I just wish they gave you more time. Because it takes one or two pit stops, 1 or 2 stages to get your tire pressure to where you are so your car can handle right. Sorry to interrupt you, Roofer.
You know what would be cool? What if while you was running during the run, what if you could actually talk to your crew chief and be like, hey man, I'm loose off, and tell the crew chief the symptoms, and actually have a crew chief that makes, you know, okay, he's loose off, you know, and they actually make the adjustment or give you the suggestion when you come into pit road on what to do, you know.
That's a great idea. Again, I feel I'm not a computer logistics guy, but I feel that would be a great upgrade for Heat 5, and I don't feel like it would be that difficult. Hey, like if you play Valentino Rossi's game, the road racing motorcycle game, and you tell your crew chief the bike's not leaning this much, guess what? It will make that adjustment for you. That's a great.
See, well, this is the main thing, the difference in real life. They can sit.
What do you guys out there in Cyberland think?
They can talk about it for 20, 30 laps. You know, this is what we're going to do and have it planned. And I guess it's just like the game. You could do that too. Plan what you're going to do for 30 minutes, and you have a limited time to get those adjustments in. But tire pressures is one of those things that'd be the one thing I wish you could have preset for you to where you didn't have to sit there and do it for 2 or 3 pit stops at tracks like these. They should automatically start at 50.
Well, let's do a full field rundown here if we can. I'm sitting right behind RJ Smitty in that 24 car.
Still leading, doing great out front.
I'm following RJ Smitty, and he is smooth. He is smooth as silk. I don't know who are you following, Robbie?
Buck's trying to make a move on the outside, but he has no friends coming with him. Gatekeeper jumps up there. Let's see what Noco does. That's what's going to make the difference. I'm thinking he's going to choose the low line.
I'm on board with Timac right now,
I don't
actually
know.
watching Buck on the outside.
Yeah, see, Timac, that's what he wants to see. He needs to be right up there, right up underneath that 71's bumper and pushing him out of there. And then the NOCO more than likely.
There you go, look, NOCO
Nope,
team
they're
racing.
gonna make their way back down.
Oh,
Double zero misjudged it by a hair and unfortunately took out the 12 and the 2 in the process. Team Canuck got
Maybe
really hard.
maybe this would be another good idea for a fan vote, guys. When you're leading or where you're at right now, do you mirror drive or do you drive? Who drives out the mirror and who drives out the windshield? Anybody out there in Cyberlane? That's another good question.
That's a good question for them. Me personally, I turn my mirror off, and
I do too.
If I'm out front,
too, and I've gotten yelled at it, especially from one of our fellow broadcasters, Robbie Vids. He says "wanker" a lot at me, and I don't know what that means, but I'll figure out one of these days.
Yeah, you can say that on here.
Well, late in the race, I don't want to. I know that, like, if I'm out front, I know that at Daytona, being on the wheel, that I can hold that same line on the bottom over and over, so I'm going to stay there and thrust, and if a guy gets a good enough run on the outside and passes me, he does. That's just me.
I'm going to have to pull the Webster's dictionary out and figure out what wanker means.
Sorry, hey, you got to stop. Pudding. You can't say that. It's a curse word. All right, I apologise, guys.
It's a British.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, that's why I need
British
Webster's dictionary. I apologize. I didn't know. That's why I need the dictionary. Let's get back to this racing. We're going too wide here, guys.
I don't know what the American equivalent is, but it's probably something I shouldn't say on air anyway.
No,
but it's okay.
No.
Well, I apologize.
A lot of I don't think there's too many fans that would actually get offended because they probably don't even know, to be honest.
Let's say this. Well, I'm not going to bring you guys into this, but I just went from Heat for a recognized voice to Heat for a hated voice because I said that. I apologize. I was just making a joke. But let's get back. Like I said, this is a good, close racing.
Right, 42 is doing a really good job. But no, Giggity, the name, actually, a lot of people like, how come you named it Giggity Racing, you know?
First thing comes to my mind is Quagmire.
Right. Well, it's supposed to be a laid-back place where you come and have fun, clean, hard racing, you know, but, like, we want to keep the fun factor into it, because once you lose the fun factor, you're going to go out and buy Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and you're going to give up on NASCAR. I mean, just be honest, you know? So, trying to keep it a fun place to race. Sometimes you got to sacrifice a few lambs to keep the packs too. You know, sometimes there's a dirty guy that's consistently dirty, and you're just gonna have to get rid of him so you don't lose.
Well, that's how I got it. That's how I got acclimated with so many people. River was that I got tired of public lobbies that. Their friends invited their friends, they invited their friends, but we got into good lobbies because we were all good, clean racers like Giggity Racing.
You guys will have to excuse. You guys have to excuse our fellow commentators for keep laughing because I sent them the meaning of what the actual curse word means. So, you know, they keep giggling away.
I apologize. That's unprofessional. Maybe
but I tell you what, though, the 9 car,
guys.
man, the 9. Where did he come from? All night, he's had trouble in both races, and now he's sitting second, pushing Wicked Gatekeeper along.
Yeah, I've been watching Checkmate, and he's been sitting in 4th, 5th, and 6th. You know, so.
Right. Yeah. I noticed RJ's having a lot of trouble getting back to the front. Smitty in the 24.
People over in England don't have the same Webster's dictionary that we do because definitions are different apparently. But man, oh man,
yeah, it's a different.
Again, that's another thing about Giggity Racing. Giggity Racing is about having fun and.
I can't try to be vulgar or nothing like that, but it's a family environment, but it's still a fun environment.
What he sent me wasn't necessarily vulgar, but I apologize for anybody who can't translate what that means. Now that I know what it means, I apologize, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we have a great racing here, though.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what I learned something tonight myself. So.
I'm not over it. I'm sorry, guys.
If I'm ever at a pub in England and someone calls me that, it will come in handy. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of there. You know.
Can I get myself a pint of Guinness and I'll wake up?
No, that's what I love about, you know, that's what I think of when I think of, you know, because I've met a few UK guys is like, you know, serious working guys, but when they get off work, they like to go to the pub and have a couple drinks, you know.
Well, that's with Robbie. I don't know how many times I've just gotten into a random lobby and we start talking and somebody's like, oh, I've raced with him. He's this guy. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, he's one of my friends, you know. Robbie has made himself not only as a great broadcaster, but he has publicized himself as a great racer, smooth and clean. Yeah, so you and I, Jinx, you owe me a Coke, because we said it at the same time. He's a great racer and clean, and that's what Giggity Racing needs. Like, we not only need, but we have people like Robbie and RK and Trout and Noco and Cloud. I mean, we can keep going on, you know. No offense.
He's earned so much respect, you know, since he, like I said, Robbie's the type, if he comes up in your rear view, it's best to let him go around. I noticed he was bobbing and weaving a little back there, and I wonder if maybe he, you know, tried
there was
something.
Contact was made.
Okay.
And it was unintentional, yeah. There was some contact made, just trying to suck up in the draft. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank goodness there was a caution there. But no, that's
I apologize to all of our Britain fans out there who are listening to us now too. Other than Robbie. All right, guys, here you go. You got another chance.
I'm sure Lewis Hamilton has done it before. You know, I'm sure it's like second nature.
Anyway, we got a few comments on the channel. I can only see like 2 of them. Well, 3 actually, but it says we got Bill Gibson. He says a lot of slang difference in English and American English, which is correct.
That is correct, Bill Gibson. Yes, it is. Hell yes, there is.
D. Smith said Robbie is the international ambassador of Giggity.
Bill,
yeah, that was a mouthful. Bill Gibson. Bill Gibson.
That's the best comment of the night.
Robbie is well known in the NASCAR heat community, which is good to hear.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Very much. Yeah.
That's kind of But I like how he said that, the international ambassador of NASCAR. For people out there who don't know, in the late 90s, NASCAR actually went over to Japan for a couple international races that were exhibitions, and they were trying to take NASCAR a little worldwide.
We got cars. 24. 88 big contact, and we're going to have major damage there.
And this comes from our other fellow broadcaster, Mills. Mills is he patented this. Cautions breed cautions.
Yes, it does. Most definitely.
But yeah, IndyCar, Formula One, NASCAR, even the used to be V8 Supercar Series of Australia. They have all gone international, guys. And why not NASCAR?
Most definitely. Like I said, Matt Deason, even from Brazil. So we got, from south of the equator all the way across the pond. I mean,
I've got quite a few online friends here in Canada. So like you said, north to south, you got snowed, blistering hot. Either way, it doesn't matter. NASCAR is a tradition, is a heritage, it's a brothership.
That's right. Yeah, we like to see cars go left and go fast. I mean, I like road course racing too.
No offense, real quick, Ruther. With that comment, I need Robbie to say his patented NASCAR statement, real quick. Robbie, it's all you. Go.
I can't remember what statement you're looking for.
I drive NASCAR. I drink beer. I turn left. I go.
Yeah. There you go. That really, when I was coming up, from the South, that's how it was, guys. It was really a traditionally Southern sport that only Southern people watched until I'd say around 1974 when they first aired it on Wide World of Sports on the very first race.
Now that you bring that up real quick, Ruther.
Fight with Donnie
No,
Allison
no, no, no,
at
no, no. I was
Daytona.
just gonna say. Don't mention any names. Fan vote. Who knows who fought who
Oh,
on the
okay. Well,
first
I gave
televised?
part of it away.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's what made.
Let's bring these people. Let's bring our internet friends into this real quick. I'm not trying to cut you off, Reaper. I'm sorry, but yeah,
No,
that's
no
a
problem.
great. That is a great.
I will give you
fan
guys a
statement.
hint. It was 2 against 1. So
Yes,
and
yes. Who was the one? Let's put it like that.
Right. The
Who
one
the
was
one?
actually doing good till the other brother come in, and that's when things went bad.
I was too. But yes,
Yeah.
yes. Fan vote. Who knows the first battle? And here we go, guys. Robbie,
And
Roofer, we are coming close to a conclusion to Daytona Giggity Racing.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, and on that note,
On
D.
my screen,
Smith
the
has turned around
24
and
lagged
said.
ahead of everybody.
D. Smith turned around and said Kale and the. What is that? Allisons?
Yes, the Allison brothers and
Yep.
yes, D. Smith.
Kel
D.
Yarborough
Smith,
and
yes.
Donnie and Bobby Allison. Yes.
Yeah.
D. Smith, please get with me after the race as we see some more contact. D. Smith, please get with me after this, and I will send you a Puddin Motorsports Racing T-shirt for that trivia question.
And on that
Yes, good
note,
shot.
I'd just
Which I
like
do
to.
have.
And on that note, I'd just like to
And
say,
to be
playing
honest,
some NASCAR, drinking some beer.
There he goes. Yes, there it is,
You know,
ladies
them
and
guys
gentlemen.
actually did not like each other till the day, which I believe Carol Yarborough, I don't know if he has died yet, but the last time they have not lived.
Kale's still alive.
Yeah, they still do not like each other. Donnie Allison and Carol Yarborough, I mean, at Hall of Fame events and stuff, they've sat there and argued about who actually won the fight, but I've watched the documentaries and stuff about it, so.
If I have permission from the administrators, I have, I wouldn't call it memorabilia, but I have t-shirts, stickers, and hats from where I race professionally. Once a night that I broadcast, if we put a fan vote out like that, is it alright that whoever answers that fan vote, that I give them, I'll ship them a
Most
shirt.
definitely,
But
man, yeah.
Tonight, D. Smith, I will send him it's a black shirt. It just says Puddin Motorsports, and it says 98 on it.
You know, I thought about
but
doing
if you want a free hat, shirt, or a sticker, let's do a fan vote.
maybe design a Giggity Racing, hoodie, since it's winter, and
Yeah.
everywhere you go around, you're repping the Giggity Racing and have the channel on the back to where, this thing could grow, tenfold.
Exactly.
Just by people seeing what is Giggity Racing. Let me check it out.
Roofer, great idea.
Couple of comments here. C-Dub says, get our done, and D. Smith would like a invite into the booth.
I know I would most definitely,
Yeah, I mean, if it's alright.
wear something around like that.
He's a good guy. I like He's a good guy.
And I believe that's the end of the race.
The end of the race, yeah.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
On my screen, it looked like they were lagging.
I feel a little bad. D. Smith got a free T-shirt on a 2-lap question. But here we go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Can you give us the rundown there, please, Robbie?
Yeah, let's get the...
Okay, I haven't actually got the results here, but
Smitty, I believe.
RJ Smitty in first place.
71 a Plant, Blakey T, then 48 of Spanker, then the 42 of Wicked Gatekeeper, 2 of Mills, Buck, and 7th, 8th, Spank Racing, RKM, and 9th, T-Mac, or Ty-Mac, and 10th. That's the top
I don't know
10.
about you guys.
We had a few people leave,
only...
so I'm not sure. That's the unofficial
it looked
results.
like it lagged out. The weird on my screen. It looked really laggy, weird at the end. But
I don't know about you guys. Not only did we have great racing, we had great fan participation from people in Giggity and who want to be in Giggity and who watch it. Thank you guys for watching us.
I had a great time in the booth tonight, man.
Roofer, I got to call your name I don't know how many times. It was an honor to broadcast with you. Robbie?
Yes.
It was okay to hang out with you too.
Cheers, buddy. I was actually just been informed that Wicked actually won the race at Daytona, so we have Blakey T and Wicked that actually need bringing in. So
All
if
right,
you guys
let's
could
bring
do
these
that.
guys in for post-race interviews.
Yeah, I could have messed that order up. It could have been lap times they were showing and had it in that order. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm gonna let you guys do the interview real quick because I'm gonna use the restroom, but I'll still be in the party here.
Understandably. There's Blakey T. Robbie, thanks for hanging out again, man. Not only is it awesome to hang out with you, but it's awesome to commentate such great racing with one of my great friends. It's so
been a
cool.
while. It's definitely been a while. It is Blakey T now. But if you'd like to go ahead and ask him a few questions and ask him how his race went.
Blakey T, congratulations, New Hampshire.
Thank you.
It was so hard to bite my tongue, but we'll keep going. Blakey T, what did you do? What was your mindset? How did you maintain yourself to win that race in New Hampshire? Because on worn tires, it looked like you did such a good job.
Well, that last pit stop was pretty key. I was able to stay out later than all of the others, so when it came to me getting tires, I could catch the leader pretty quickly. But I knew that everybody was pretty fast. But I know this track very well. I know how to run this track very well. So it kind of worked out in the end because, like I said, I stayed out later, got my tires, and I was able to catch down the leader. But
for anybody out there listening, what were some key adjustments that you made? Because I followed you for the last 15 laps, even on worn tires, Blakey T. How did you not seem to lose your momentum, lose your grip, lose your focus? But how did you handle that car at the same time? And that's a lot of questions in one sentence, but Blakey T, you did great. How did you do that? Would you want to inform everybody out there in the internet world?
Well, I know how to hit. I tried to just hit my marks the way I knew it, and my car was getting really good if I can run that low in a corner. If I ran higher in a corner, I couldn't get much of a run off. So, I tried my best to just use my brand new tires the best I could, and it worked out because I caught them. But I had a few slip ups during the end. I got pretty loose a couple times, and I lost a little bit, but. I just have to thank my pit crew. They got me back out there, and them tires.
What were you doing, painting them in Keisto?
Possibly,
Great
getting
job.
that win, they deserve it. So
There you go. Well, congratulations, Blakey T. I know Robbie over there over the pond has a couple questions for you. Congratulations. Right. You were fast. You were amazing, and I've had the honor to race with you. And unfortunately, I had the honor of knowing you.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you in the booth, Puddin'. You know that. We're good buddies, so it's always good to kind of have a very good friend in the booth. So, absolutely.
Good job, buddy. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Blakey T, been a while since we spoke, hasn't it? It's been a fair while actually. It's been over a month now, I think. I do believe.
It's been a while. It's been a while, man.
So, New Hampshire, you were looking so smooth, you're holding your lines really well and hitting your marks, and I believe I see you slip up not once, maybe once, but you didn't slip up often and you drove really, really well. Then you came to Daytona. What was it like transitioning from one track to another, like New Hampshire to Daytona?
Well, obviously I love the short tracks more than I do super speedways, but I have to thank my teammates because, it wouldn't have been possible for me to be up in the front if it wasn't for them at Daytona. So, but definitely, communication's very key. So, but I always enjoy the short tracks, so I really enjoy going to those. But super speedways is still a trick for me. I'm good there, but some people can't hold their lines a little bit, so it kind of messes up your focus and your momentum. So. But it worked out. We still finished in the top 10. So, but we had a good time.
You represented very well, Blakey T. And Robbie asked one of my questions. How do you go from New Hampshire to Daytona? And you answered it very well. Good job, Blakey.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job tonight, Blakey. This is Roofer here, man. Did you have any damage there at the end compared to Spanker? That's what I was wondering in the 48. Was what the difference, or did you save some tires? It just looked like you had a
great question
car there at the very end.
Great question.
What I noticed is everybody started to use their tires a lot more at the start, at each restart, and I was saving my tires. So definitely I saved my tires. But when we got to that last pit stop run, like I said, I stayed out later than everybody else. Everybody got their tires. They were already starting to wear off on their fresh tires. So
Right.
it worked out for me to go later, and I just had just enough. But yeah, like I said, once I pitted and got my fresh tires on that last run, I just had to wear them out because I knew if I didn't, I wouldn't have caught them. So,
Right.
but I knew how to hit my corners pretty good, like I said, and it all just played out perfectly. So,
You looked very
Great
smooth
job,
tonight, I will
man.
say
Yeah,
that.
you rode smooth. Yes, very smooth.
so thank you.
Now, if you're
Thank you,
bored,
guys.
Blakey T, I'll meet you in Iowa.
But I don't think you want that.
I think Edward Thompson did a good job of signing you to Dirty South Racing. Looking forward to having you as a teammate next season. I'm still, like I said, officially with RKM. I'm still going to be always, because RKM's like my brother on here. So, like I said, the only reason why I joined DSR is because I'm from the South and Canuck is from the Canada. It was just like it felt. But I think you're going to be a great teammate, man. Looking forward to racing with you more, man. You're gonna do
Actually,
good on
I
here.
don't. I'm actually part of RJM.
Oh, okay. Well, that's even better to know, man. So I don't want to give
That's
you
even.
shout
I
out.
was just gonna say that's even better that I don't have to have Blakey as a teammate. That's even better.
Well,
But
no,
you
I'm
love
not.
race with me.
Right. I get to.
No, I love Blakey T. He's a great
No,
guy.
I mean we try.
Great job,
it's
man.
it's tough because it's. I try to be as clean as I can. You guys, y'all have seen. I mean, it's
Yes.
tough. I tried to back out of the 3 wide situations we put ourselves in at New Hampshire. So I had a fun time. Everybody had a fun time, but the stress is over now. I can focus on the next week and try to get another win for our team. So
Well, that you are the example, and we promote giggity racing so much, Blakey T. When we broadcast, you are an example that you started in truck, went to Xfinity, and went the Cup really quick because of your
Right.
talent. That's the talent that we not only expect but is exhibited in giggity. So you amongst 100 other people are the example of that, and great job tonight. Great job. I learned stuff from you, Bible, just for broadcasting. So
Hey,
congratulations on your
Man.
win.
but one thing
Great
before
job, buddy.
I go, thank you, man.
Yep.
I just wanted to thank RJM for the opportunity because if it wasn't for him put me on his team, I probably wouldn't be here or I'd be with a different team. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No doubt.
But
No doubt.
if it wasn't for him, he gave me an opportunity in trucks, see my talent in trucks, move me up to Xfinity, and then like I said, I'm here at Cup, and I feel like I belong at Cup. So
Oh, so you feel like Ricky Bobby, you piss excellence, huh?
yeah, I was sort of
Okay, good for you. Confidence
So-
is you gotta have it, buddy.
and I have the best teammates in the world. So I mean, I couldn't be happier where I'm at right now. So
Yeah.
getting a win and then having a strong Daytona run didn't work out in the end for us, but we had a strong Daytona run, and
It's a great race.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that race. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great, man.
But,
It was a fun race to watch.
So I heard from the boss man that we are going to Watkins Glen next week, I believe, and Darlington. So those are another two of my favorite
tracks.
tracks.
I was just going to say two tracks that you're pretty strong at. I heard that you didn't want to race one of the commentators, I believe them unnamed at Watkins Glen, but that's okay.
Yeah,
But
well,
no offense to you, Blakey T. Congratulations, great racing. But we gotta get we gotta get the Daytona winner in here.
hey, that's fine. You guys, thank y'all for broadcasting. Thank y'all for watching this race. You guys are the best commentary booth people. You guys are so nice, and
We appreciate it.
I
you guys are
appreciate that,
awesome.
man.
So I appreciate y'all doing the broadcast. So
Can't wait
All
to
right.
talk to you in about 5 minutes.
I'm gonna go celebrate with a cold Coke. You guys,
Pepsi.
you can. No, sorry, Coke guy. But Puddin', Robbie, and Roofer, thank you
Yep.
guys. I am out of here.
Cheers,
I'm
buddy.
gonna go
Yes,
enjoy
sir.
my win. So,
Well done.
All right,
Great job,
guys.
man.
Don't get off mine.
All right, sir. I'll see you guys.
See ya.
I'm proud to say I just got 28th with 11 minutes to go. I actually got a chance to make a finals run with only 11 minutes in the esports for the day, and I
That
got up to
was-
28th.
Yeah, that was
Not
your
bad.
New Hampshire winner tonight in the Giggity Racing 3-set league, Blakey T. Roofer, Robbie. What do you
Now
guys have
we
to say?
got-
What do you guys have to say about what Blakey T did there? As we get as we get the Daytona driver in here for a victory lane chat.
Blakey
The
T
way he
deserved it.
done it, right? The way he done it, he earned a lot of respect. To where if I'm on the track with him, I'm gonna be like Robbie. He's gonna be in that same book. To where if he's faster than me, I'm gonna let him go, and I'm gonna draft off of him. And you know, that's just the way I give guys like that the respect. You
And
know,
Blakey T's always had that, Roofer. Blakey T's
Right.
always been a great guy, and he proved why he advanced through Giggity so quick. And
Right. That's exactly what we're looking for, is people that are not going to come out there and force their way to the front, but actually show that they're fast and work their way to the front.
well, let's get our Daytona winner in here, and let's conclude this broadcast for the evening. And we appreciate everybody out there listening. Let's see if we can't get that Daytona in there, because Daytona 50%.
Yeah, that's a big win.
That's a
Coca-Cola
big win.
400. Yeah.
That's a big win, and that's a long race. Let's see how their patience wore out for them.
They're lucky it was only the 400-mile race, the night race, instead of the day race. It's a lot longer, 50%. Great
And people
job by
don't-
Wicked Gatekeeper. He had a good car there in that McDonald's car all night.
And people don't realize how difficult it is to maintain that.
I wish I would knew we had less, the lap count, to where we could have been talking a little more about the race there at the end. I feel bad about that.
Yeah, we don't want to take away from what Wicked did, because what Wicked
Right.
did was, well, Wicked. You know what I'm saying? He did a great job. Is anybody friends with him?
I myself, don't think I have him on my friends list. Let me look real quick.
I hear Robbie over there banging gears, so Robbie's
No,
already racing.
No, that's me making my last attempt. I'm coming around the finish line on the esports. There was only 11 minutes left when we got done
all
with the
right.
broadcast.
No problem. I know
Yeah,
we're still
we're-
broadcasting real quick, but I'll meet you in that esports. I'll meet you in that esports lobby here just in a couple minutes. If we can't get Wicked Gatekeeper in here, congratulations to him on a great
Right.
patient
Okay, so
win.
yeah, we're waiting on Wicked. I'm not too sure if he's going to join in, but if we can get invites out to
He
Book
might be
Racing
in A
and
class as
Noco.
well. And knowing there's only 10 minutes left and trying to make a run, yeah. If not, go to second, yeah, no.
Ooh,
Yep.
that's perfect then.
I need
Hey,
to bring in
Roofer,
Noco,
Robbie.
please. Yep.
Thank you guys for being in the booth. It's a pleasure. And thanks for Giggity Racing to have putting back in the booth. But it was an honor.
Anytime.
You guys have great points, and if anybody doesn't believe that, then they need to go to Giggity Racing YouTube, watch the replay of the races, and listen to the points you guys bring up. I can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah, I
No
just
worries.
go by experience from not only racing, man, but I've called a lot of
Sorry
races.
to
so
interrupt
I've
you
seen
real
them.
quick. Can somebody
go ahead,
invite?
Robbie.
Can somebody invite Buck and Noco to the chat party, please?
Are you able to do that, Puddin'? If not, I can.
Yeah, go ahead, because I don't think, of all things, it's kind of weird being one of the commentators that I don't have them. But yeah, I don't have Buck or... Yeah, I don't have them. I don't know why.
Okay, here, let me just.
I think they had
Disconnect from
something
here.
against guys
I
with
got-
tattoos. Maybe that's why they're not friends with me.
No, I got you, so you don't have to blue screen up.
I'm
Let's
just
see,
joking.
party.
I'm just joking.
Suggest players. Who do we need? Buck and who else?
Noco.
No,
Okay,
Cal.
okay.
Robbie,
Yes.
What's up?
great to have you back in the booth, man. You are not only a fantastic friend. I can't wait to put you up for a while you're over here. I can't wait for you to come to America. And when you're over here, we're gonna. Here's the new petition. We're gonna do Robbie Comes to America, because everybody wants to meet a nice guy like you, buddy. And Roofer, I have said your name numerous times broadcasting. Great to sit next to you, buddy.
Yes, sir,
Finally,
man.
it's great to sit. It's great to talk to you.
Yeah, man, you did a great job in the booth, man.
You did a fantastic job. Thank you, though. But yes, I appreciate that. But no,
No
you
problem,
guys
brother.
both. I think we make a great team, and it was great to sit next to you guys tonight.
That's what I was gonna say. Anytime, man, they want broadcast with you guys, I'm more than welcome or happy to.
Well, if you do broadcast a truck race that I am participating in, please say something
Right.
nice about old Puddin'.
I'm just going to blue screen real quick and see what's going on. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I got it. Mm. And 1 sec, I'm still on blue screen. Put in. Sorry, mate. Put in 1 second. I'm just on blue screen, so they won't be able to hear what either of you are saying. I'm just trying to find no code, so just bear with me a second, guys. I'm just gonna look again. We are still on blue screen, so just bear with me. Yeah, put in. They can't hear you, mate, because I'm on blue screen. When it's right. Okay, no longer on blue screen. I do apologise for that.
Alright.
Yeah, Buck.
That's okay.
Buck, have you got yours set to always allow?
Yeah, always do.
Yeah, if you like, turn the volume up or put the mic closer so we can hear you a bit better.
Give me a second. I'm using a new mic, so
Okay. Well, that's a bit better.
Understandable.
I can turn it up. I didn't know it was too loud or too quiet. Is that better?
Yeah.
Buck, how did you ran fantastic tonight? You ran New Hampshire, you ran Daytona. What was your mindset from going from a tight paperclip to being in a draft race?
Honestly, I don't really change mindset. I just kind of go in there and try getting a win. Didn't exactly happen tonight, but I'm always happy to get my teammate in first.
But you participated and you were fantastic all night, man. Congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you.
Pudding, can you just allow Noco to join? I've put it in the suggested box.
Yeah, I noticed in the very first race at New Hampshire, it looked like in the first stage that you had some kind of trouble, or either at the very, did you forget to pit or something? I couldn't figure out what it was what happened there.
Well, beginning of the race, I just started in last, didn't have a good qualifying thing, and then whenever the first stage ended, I wasn't paying attention. I just forgot to pit, but
That's what I thought.
yeah, but I rebounded, finally got to second, then wrecked myself. So
Oh, that's tough. It's
yeah,
not as bad when you do it
But you
early.
did such a good job on rebounding, though. You have that you have that right mindset of what Giggity needs. Of hey, I made a mistake. Take a deep breath. and come back. And you do such a good job at that, Novko. We've seen it numerous times, especially since you run up front a lot.
This is Buck here. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, this is Buck, not Noko. Sorry.
I didn't know me and Knuckle had the same voice.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Buck, how does it
Melissa.
feel to run? What was your mindset? Let me ask you a question, Buck, because I can hear both of you, but apparently you guys can't hear me. But
Wait.
let me ask you same question. Tight paperclip to draft track. What was your mindset, Buck?
I think we're having a problem. Noko's not in. Oh, he's in here now. You got both of them in here. No,
There's Wicked Gatekeeper.
And we got the whole top 3 in here from Daytona. All right, we do got the winner.
Okay,
There we
so
go.
let's keep it rolling then. So Buck, yeah, tell us.
going from Daytona to paperclip to big track like that, nothing really changes for me. I just think let's try winning the race, and didn't really get it done, but at least I got my teammate up there.
How do you be so smooth at every track we watch you at?
I don't know who you guys are looking at, but I am not the smoothest. At least I don't think so. But
You're good at almost a lot of tracks, so you don't have just one strong point. You're usually good on 1.5 miles. You're usually good on short tracks. I know you have, mistakes happen sometimes, but most of the time you're usually right there. But I know you had a trouble there at the beginning of Daytona and actually made it back up there at the end. I think that's just from, how many laps you've logged and all the practice that you've done, and being an experienced, driver and everything. It was good to see you come back and make up for that early mistake there at Daytona. I was telling them guys you're one of the best drafters at Daytona that I've ran with before, Noko as well. So good job, man.
Congratulations.
I should have started. I think around 6th place, but something happened mechanically with my car, and I got sent all the way to the back of the pack. But there's no problem with
That's what I was
how I
wondering.
finished.
Yeah, I seen that. Well, good job, man. I hope. Unless Rob, you got any questions for him?
Yeah, so it seems like at the beginning of Daytona you was a bit uneasy and you kept getting caught up by a few other drivers and that, and getting caught up in a couple of wrecks. So we were talking about how in tracks like Daytona you have to stay calm, but how was you feeling at that point?
I started getting a little frustrated at the beginning, and I kind of just stopped for a second. Got a long race to go.
Couple
And
deep
just
breaths.
That's it.
Plus, I got my teammates that I can talk to, my in-car speakers and stuff like that, because advanced technology these days.
That's awesome that you brought that up, because early in the broadcast we brought up the word teammate for Daytona. How dependent and reliable were your teammates, and how bad did you need them to help you?
Honestly, teammates are like everything at Daytona. Like, if you don't have teammates, you won't win the race. And it's just like a prime example with Wicked. He might have not even won the race if I wasn't behind him. Not saying that I am the reason he won, but I was like a handicap for him.
That's awesome. Congratulations on your great races tonight, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Buck. Nice race.
Yeah, I'm glad he touched on that point there. Like, as I touched on it during our broadcast, you have to have friends at plate tracks or you're not going to go nowhere. Like I said, he did good when that line post. I think he was one of them guys at the high side bandit that finally made it work there. I know Noko was in it. But I was glad to see him make the high side work there. But I'll let y'all go ahead and interview our second place guy, which I believe is Noko, right?
Noko,
No,
go
actually,
ahead.
I didn't finish second. Sorry, guys. Good job in the
Oh,
booth.
okay.
I didn't actually finish second. Buck's actually the second place finisher. We had a little incident on that final restart. It kind of put me in the wall and I ended up finishing
Oh,
I
I
think it was
got you.
11.
Well, heck,
But
as an owner and you always having these fast guys in here, it's no biggie to get your
How do you
perspective,
pick your
anyways.
how do you hand select your drivers to come up through the ranks?
I think it's more along the lines of team chemistry. I feel like anybody can be fast if they worked at it. I'd rather have guys that I gel really well with versus guys that are blistering fast and I can't work with. It just
Right.
really helps a lot having guys that
You
can be
enjoy spending
friends to
time,
you.
like being in a party with and hanging out.
Of
Right.
course, you're absolutely right. I mean,
And I've raced with you numerous times. This is put. I've raced with you numerous times. We all know you're super fast. We all knew you're a super nice guy. Um,
well,
but
thank you.
but to have that little bit of a secret, it doesn't matter how fast or how slow you are. Just that team chemistry. That's an insight to everybody. And thank you for realizing that.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I
what it
wouldn't really
takes to
say
win.
it was a secret either. It's just a lot of hard work. I
Hard
mean,
work, yeah.
yeah, this guy I
Rephrase
know
that.
is one of the
I'm
hardest
sorry.
working
I
guys.
rephrased.
Well, he will, race all night until if he's really got his mind on something to get into the top 10 until he finds what setup or adjustment it takes. And then, but not only will he, get that information for himself, he'll share it with his team, which makes the whole group, as have you seen all year, just overall, just a really tough group, and it's
Yeah.
cool to have an owner like that, man.
I
There's been
would
a
want
lot
to
of
call
guys.
the kids Team NoCo.
It's
They're
been,
fast.
Go ahead, Narco.
definitely. I definitely like sharing my knowledge with the guys. It's definitely helped them out a lot. And I'm continuously finding out new things about the cars, especially on the custom side, which it's really helping out our program over there. And everybody just puts the work in. I mean, it's not just me putting in the work.
Right.
Each and every single one of the drivers have
Yeah,
that
you
same
can't do it
level.
for them.
No,
Right.
they have that same commitment level I have, and I think that's what really sets our team apart from maybe a
Yeah.
lot of the other teams. Is we actually put a ton of work in. I'm not saying that anybody else doesn't put the work in, but I know for a fact that I'll be up late working on stuff. Wicked will be with me, and there'll be various other guys up during different parts of the day, and we just try to work hard to be the best that we possibly can be, and it definitely shows up on the track,
Yeah,
with
it shows
results
up
that
in the
Without a
results.
doubt.
you
Yeah.
guys can
Without
see
a
it. I
doubt.
mean,
I would
but
consider you the Rick Hendrick of, but if Rick Hendrick could drive as well,
well,
which,
thank you. I appreciate that. Those are really kind words. That's an honor to say that, man.
yeah,
But
man.
it's just all about the team, guys. It's not any one driver. I definitely don't want to put myself on a pedestal. I just have knowledge of these cars. I've figured a lot more things out, and it's definitely benefiting everybody as a whole. We're just going to keep the momentum going. I definitely was trying to get my guys to win the race tonight. If I was in position, yeah, that would have been nice, but wasn't really forcing any issues there. I was just trying to hold everybody back behind me, kind of like Dale Sr. did the in the 2001 Daytona 500. Letting his guys win the race.
Right. If you can't win it, well, you want your teammates to win it, for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. But I mean,
Dedication.
overall, just there wasn't a lot of friends out there. The only guys I had really was the 00 and the 42. Everybody else was kind of against me there, which I kind of expected. And there's other guys that were really working well on the track too, and shout out to them. RJ Motorsports, they've been really coming on here the last few weeks, and it's made it to where we've had to step up our game, and we're just going to continue to keep this momentum rolling. I'm just really proud that Wicked got his first win. I really wanted him to get his first win, and just really proud of the effort overall tonight.
Great job, guys.
Yep.
And we also have Wicked here in the booth, our big winner at Daytona. Puddin', I'll let you start off. Great talking to you, Noco, but we're going to go into a winner here, as you saying, Wicked, to try to get this wrapped up. The big winner at Daytona. I've seen you up towards the front most of the night. Was that most of your strategy was just try to stay up towards the front, maintain track position, and try to stay out of trouble?
Yeah, it was all about position here. That outside line is just, especially at Daytona, it's so hard to get rolling. You really need a good 5 or 6 cars to get anything to happen. So it's all about track position. And I got lucky and did with I don't know about 3 cautions before the end. I did a 2-tire stop, and that took me from 8th place to 1st, and it was just a matter of keeping position from there on out. But no. Heck, I'm thrilled as heck. We finally got the McDonald's Chevy, Canassie Chevy, into
Finally,
victory lane, and
I
I'm
was
loving
worried,
it.
man. I was worried whenever we loaded the car up on the hauler. I looked at the car and I'm like, ugh, we went to that scheme again, man. We've had a lot of bad luck with that one, but
It has
you
been
know
our
what?
bad luck.
It came through tonight.
It
and
came through
like
tonight,
I said,
right.
I'm really proud of him. Wig is one of my real good friends, and me and him, we're very like-minded individuals. Not just about the game. We have a lot of fun together, but I'm just so proud of him for his first win. And Buck, team player, he did a good job tonight. Overall, it was a great effort, guys. Broadcast, everything. Wicked, enjoy that win. Finish up with them boys, and I'm out of here.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Cheers.
Have a good
Back
one.
at the shop. But, and like he was saying, I couldn't have done it without the team effort and having a couple other friendlies outside the team out there on the track. I know Checkmate did his fair share of helping me and just holding the line instead of pushing for something. So
Well, you guys did a
great
great
race.
job, especially going from, a paperclip to Daytona. You guys, your mindset, your teamwork, everything. Congratulations, you guys.
I appreciate
Hard
it.
work.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and we had a great car at New Hampshire too. I just made a bad move. Was trying to get some extra room, riding high on the apron, and I caught the pit lane, and it put me into the end of the pit wall. So I instantly went 2 laps down. It was just a battle back. But
I seen that
I was
actually.
I was actually glad to be up there. Running with the top 4. I was pushing hard to battle my spots back, but you try to give them room and let them do their thing too. So it was a great comeback to come back and win Daytona. And
Yeah, great job, man. Coming back at both tracks and having a good showing. Actually, I was on board watching your line when I think it looked like you got loose on exit and just pounded the pit wall kind of, and it did heavy damage. And I know you had to ride it out till you could make a pit stop and fix it, but great job coming back and then having a strong showing at Daytona, man. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah, no, and it's great. So hopefully we can carry this momentum forward, and we'll go back to the drawing board for the next couple tracks at the shop, and and get practiced up, do it all again.
That's it,
Great
man.
job, man. Congratulations. You guys did a great job.
Appreciate you guys broadcasting. I'm sure it's good. I'll be going back to check it out later.
Congratulations, Wicked.
I'm gonna get on back here and party in Victory Lane before I head back to the shop. So.
Yes, sir,
Don't
man.
forget to drink
Enjoy.
yourself an ice cold Keystone and spray that champagne.
I will. I gotta get that monster sponsor in there and get me one of those too. So.
There you go. Have a good night, buddy. Congratulations.
Take care, guys.
Appreciate it, man. Well, the roofer here, Puddin' and Robbie Vids, we're fixing to probably wrap this thing up for tonight because we've been up here in the booth for quite a while. But, man, it was a pleasure doing this broadcast with both you guys. And, like I said, anytime they want to do it again, be more than honored.
Yeah, me also. It was great to have Roofer and Robbie, one of my good friends up here. You guys did a great job. We saw great racing. We saw 2 technical tracks. You went from one technical paperclip to one technical stand draft strategy track, and we saw everybody play clean, move up, and at the last second play their queen card. So that's awesome for them. It's been an honor, guys. Thank you, guys.
All right, man. For the Xfinity Racing League, like I said, tomorrow night will be our truck series, and we will try our hardest to come up with a broadcast crew because Puddin will be in that race along with some other, truck drivers. So we'll hopefully be seeing y'all tomorrow at around 7 o'clock.
Yep, pull for that orange and black 98, baby.
There
Yeah,
you
I've
go.
definitely got to say thanks for watching tonight, guys. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's been great being here in the booth. Don't forget, if you're interested in joining Gigi Racing League, you can find us on Facebook, also on Twitter, or send a comment on YouTube, and we can take it from there. Through PSN, because we race on PS4, you can find KTatty6369, and he's a CEO of Gigi Racing League. I do believe this is their 3rd season. Get in touch with him, and we can get you in the developmental series and take it from there. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and it's been great racing.
Robbie, Ruther, pleasure to talk with you all night, man.
You guys too.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all have a great night.
All right, everybody out there in YouTube land, please be safe.
Good night, everybody.
Well,
See you at the next one.
yep.